Hello out there folks, hope you're all doing well. In this video I've had a suggestion from my mate Mr. Flip Flops that I should do a video on the new feature in the latest build of Automobilista 2, which has recently had a massive update. Automobilista 2 from Reza Studios, of course, and he suggested that I should do a video on one of its new features, which is launch control. Now, you'll find this system on certain cars, so you'll find it on cars like this Chevrolet Corvette C8 Z06 in the supercars, and also on the McLaren Senna as well. You'll also find it on quite a lot of the new Formula high-tech cars. But more of that later. We're going to load up the Corvette here at Monza, because although for me this car is one of the cars that there's some cars in the sim which are absolutely fantastic, this car still has a few driving issues. One of the things that does work very well on it is launch control, and I must say before I go any further that the launch control system works well on some cars, not so well on others. It is not fully implemented yet. It's a new feature, it's there, but it works well on some, not on others. Reza are fully aware of this and they are working on it, and it will be refined and perfected. But I'm just going to take you through the basic way of setting up here. Now, before I go on, also a lot of the cars that have launch control also have the option of auto gears. And I don't mean auto gears as in a generic setting that you can use from your game aids, if you like. These cars are actually have it built in, and you can turn it on or off. So I'm going to turn it off for this test, because launch control involves auto gearing, but not in the way you might think. So we've got auto gears here on. You can have them on full, so it changes gear for you like an automatic, or you can have it on downshifts only, or upshifts only, or off. I'm going to turn it off for the purposes of this little test. So here we are in the Corvette. Now, an interesting thing about the Corvette, and this also happens on the McLaren Senna. Let's get on the straight. And I'm going to turn off all our ABS and traction control, so there's nothing or none of those helping us get off the line, so to speak. So we'll come to the end of the pit lane, and we'll go through the sequence. Yes, so this car, if you look at its dashboard, the dashboard on this car, I've got a button mapped to change the pages of my dashboard, has 1, 2, 3 dashboard functions there. Now, if you use one of the first two, i.e. this one or this one, it actually has a launch control graphic, which will come up. Now, in other cars like the Formula High-Tech, you won't see that, but you will see, if you can see from my HUD, on the right-hand side, on my HUD with my tachometer there, you'll see a little LC. If I just press the button that I have mapped to launch control, you'll see that light up. There we go. Okay, so if you're in a car that has it, you'll see that in the HUD. But just for the purposes of the things we're in this car, I'm going to turn my HUD off completely. And we're just going to look at it from the dashboard of this car, because it's quite interesting to see. So the procedure goes like this. Now, you need to map your button for launch control. You can do that in your, well, when you go into your control settings and assign vehicle settings. I've got mine mapped to the L key. So to operate it, all you do is you put the car in neutral, and then you press and hold your launch control button, in my case L. There we go, I'm holding it now, and you can see now on the dash I've got a D button come up, and it's also telling me launch control in blue there is ready to go, and it says press and hold the throttle. Now, the other thing that launch control does is it operates your clutch and your brake, so you don't need, even if you're on a slope, you don't need to worry about holding the brake. As you can see from my HUD, if I bring it back up there, you can see the brake and the clutch are held automatically. If I let go and put it in gear, the clutch goes away. If I take my feet off the pedals, it's rolling backwards slightly, hit launch control, and it stops. So what you then do is press and hold the throttle. So there we go, and that's all you need to do. And now we simply release what we're going to do is release the launch control button. And the reason I've turned off auto gearing, I'll just stop that sequence for a moment. The reason I've turned off the auto gearing is because launch control, even if you've got auto gearing turned off, automatically changes gears as long as you keep your foot down on the throttle for upshifts only. So as soon as you take your foot off the throttle, it goes back to normal upshifting or manual upshifting and downshifting if you have your auto gears turned off. Just to let you know that. So you don't need to use your gears when using launch control. So here we go. Neutral, hit the launch control button. Don't need to do anything with the brake or the clutch. Get it to full revs and simply let go of the launch control button. And off we go. And that's given me a pretty good start there. And it's changing gear automatically for me. As soon as I come off the throttle, revs are dropping, and as you can see, it's not going to auto gears at all. So there you go. Now, question is, can I get a better start without using it? I've got all the traction control off. So let's see what a start without it is like. First of all, I've got to hold my brake, and then I'm going to get straight on the throttle and go. So here we go. Let's try burying the throttle, see if we can get away. Bit of wheel spin, not too bad. Let's try that. Let's have a little handbrake turn here. Oh, no handbrake on this car. Didn't realise that. Okay. Now let's try that again with launch control. So, neutral, hit the launch control button. Maximum revs, let go. Well, there you go. I don't know what you think on the efficiency of launch control there, but I feel that I actually got more of a sort of a straight line. I was able to keep the car in more of a straight line without it, but we did get more wheel spin, I think. We'll try that one more time, and you can be the judge of that. There we go. So that's launch control. As I said, you can see it works quite well on this car. So there's no real delay when the revs come straight in and off it goes. Now, like I said, I'm just going to give you a quick example of one of the cars it does not work so well on. Just if you're new to the sim, or if you're, you know the sim and you want to try this out. Just to warn you, as I said, it needs refining, and Reza do know about this. They will refine it because that's what Reza do. But this is one of the Formula High Tech models, the Gen 1 Model 2. So this car's got all sorts of clever little things like TC, traction control, and active suspension as well. And, of course, launch control. Doesn't work quite so well on this car. So let's get out onto the track here at Monza. And there you go. You can see the active suspension just raising up there. If I turn the engine off, you'll see it drop. There you go. Look at that. I do believe this is one of the first sims to actually properly model active suspension. So let's get out on track. And we'll turn the traction control off once again in this vehicle, so we're not having that help us with our starts. Oh my god, this is... I've had a racing one of these, just my first online race in Autumn Bliss 2 for a while just recently, and this car is scary. So this is a start without using launch control, so here we go. May have used a little bit too much throttle there, but there we go, that's what it's like. Very, very fast. Let's spin around. Okay, and here is what happens when you use launch control in this car. So, putting it into neutral, hitting the launch control button, build the revs, and let go. And as you can see, very, very slow start there. And this car doesn't have auto gears at all, so you do have to use your manual gears in this car to get it going. So it's there's a long delay there. So I don't think, oh, well, I have spoken to the guys at Reader. They are aware that this car's not working too well with launch control. What kind of a start can I get without it? I'll try my hardest not to spin the wheels and just get a decent start. Yeah, I'm definitely getting away quicker there. So anyway, there you go. That's all about launch control. I hope you've found that useful. If you have found it useful and you enjoy my videos, please hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and the more subscribers and likes I get, the better this channel will do, and the more funding I can use to make this channel better graphics, better equipment for recording, that sort of thing. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you out on track sometime. Cheers.